The United Nations Population Fund is the UN's go-to agency on population issues. And many member states are turning to UNFPA with requests for assistance in addressing or understanding demographic change. Now, there's a growing number of countries around the world, many in Eastern Europe and in East Asia, but not by no means only, likewise in the Americas, even in Africa, that are worried about slow, no or negative population growth, typically driven by low and falling fertility levels and or high emigration rates. And these countries are worried about the aging of the population, about the shrinking of the population, and they request us to provide assistance. And with a view to help these countries, UNFPA has established what is called the Demographic Resilience Program. The Demographic Resilience Program has the overarching objective to help countries build resilience to demographic changes, whatever they might be, and taking advantage of demographic changes. And to these ends, UNFPA, this program has really 4 focus areas. One is strengthening the link between data, evidence, and policy making. That begins with the collection of population data, the production of population estimates and projections, and the use of this population data for policy-making processes. The second area is to help strengthen human capital. So investing in human capital throughout the life course with a focus on education, but also on health, on women, children, and older persons. The third area is adapting societal systems, social protection systems, healthcare, pensions, infrastructure, service delivery, to new demographic realities, because populations will change, they will age, might be fewer children, there might be more older persons, they might live in the fewer in the rural areas, more in the urban areas, and countries need to adjust to that. And the final area of this program really has to do with communications, how we speak about demography in the public, how governments engage on issues of demography with the public. Now, these 4 areas are meant to help countries, again, to take advantage of demographic change and respond to demographic change in a productive and constructive manner. Yeah. But the program by no means implies that countries have to be passive bystanders, only watching demographic change unfold and adapting. Of course, countries can also try to change demographic futures, and many countries do. They pursue policies that are referred to as pronatalist policies. They try to incentivize births. But for UNFPA, it is very important that this is done in manners that are consistent with the International Conference on Population and Development, with the program of action that came out of it, with human rights standards, and that really pronatalist policies focus on closing the gap, if you like, between actual fertility of women and men and the desired fertility levels. This difference, if you like, between the actual fertility and the desired fertility defines the space for rights-based population policies. So if a woman would like to have more children than she has, countries can try to help the woman by doing away with all kinds of barriers and hurdles to childbearing and child rearing.